I think it is related to the position, or is related to the issue of the Parliamentary Service Act. The moment the Parliamentary Service Act was abolished, then Parliament became like a government department.
Okay.
So then it became necessary for government to have a minister to look after Parliament. And then the minister who looks after Parliament, when he decides to have his office in Parliament, of course will start wanting to have a formal structure which involves position of a Director General, Ketua Pengarah, Ketua Pengarah. What do you call it? Ketua Pengarah? Director General, Director General, a civil servant who will be looking after parliamentary affairs. And where do you draw the line? That is which is civil service and which is legislative. And so that is a situation that came about because of the abolition of the Parliamentary Services Act, PSA. And then because it leads from one thing to another, from the moment you abolish the Parliamentary Services Act and doesn't allow Parliament to have a closed service, its own officers and staff, then you have a minister who is in charge of parliamentary affairs, and then the minister will create a department to support him, because he will have to figure out how he wants to have his post-cabinet meeting, for example. You know, that's how the SOP is, right? So it sort of grows and expands and takes its own life. So I think the key issue is the Parliamentary Services Act. Because once you have a Parliamentary Services Act, then Parliament stands on its own. And it can also begin to assume its own responsibility of drafting bills, for example. We used to have a parliamentary draftsman who will draft bills that are to be debated in Parliament. And since it has been taken over by the AG chambers, so all this is arise because of the abolition of the Parliamentary Services Act,